Today's show is sponsored by Tell Me Your Secret, a bold new podcast and service designed to help you share your secrets in a supportive place, and also a podcast where you can hear other people's secrets. Find more information at tellmeyoursecret.club. Well, we're kicking off our second year and season with an ad-free show this week as a gift to you for listening, and it's a bit different. Kari and I decided to do a recap of Season 1, and we cover a lot of ground. Listen in and enjoy, and thank you so much for being with us this year. Your support means everything to myself and my sisters, so please know just how important you are, my dear listener. Without you and your feedback, there's really no reason for the podcast. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening, and I know my sisters also want to say thank you. This is Kim A. Floden, and you're listening to How in the Hell Did I Get Here? Season 2. As usual, today's episode contains swear words. Stay with us. This is the first episode of Season 2, and I have Kari here with me, who has been instrumental in helping me create this podcast. Of course, along with the other sisters, but Kari goes the extra mile every week, and she puts me through my paces and really provides good feedback. It is a team effort, but we thought we would kind of look back over the first season of How in the Hell Did I Get Here? And I think we're all kind of asking, like, how in the hell did we get here? Because we made it through an entire year. I think it turned out to be 55 episodes of How in the Hell Did I Get Here?
Yeah, so we're awesome.
Yeah, yes, we're awesome. And if you were in our Facebook, we have a Facebook Messenger group that we keep together. And early on, we decided that we were FF. FF is shorthand for fucking funny. And we know that some of you people,
because we're very humble too.
We're humble. And we know that some of you people think that we're fucking funny too, because we have seen your reviews, read your reviews, received financial support from people, and we have about almost 500 people in our Facebook group now, and a pretty good following on Instagram.
And it's amazing. And folks, keep those cards and letters coming.
Exactly.
We love it. We love hearing from you.
I just heard from someone today, a new listener, and they just happened to listen because they knew the answer about the freaking baby cows. And I'll have to get the hashtag. I think it's Yahoo Village, I think is the Instagram account, but she knew the answer, or he knew the answer. There really are baby cows.
Yeah, that was cool that someone actually gave you the rundown.
Yes, and they listened to the podcast and they said it brightened their day and made them smile and laugh. And that is the whole freaking point of doing this podcast, because this, for whatever reason, our family seems to have kind of crazy stories happen to us. And I think we all kind of look at life in a little bit of a weird way. So
yeah, we have kind of a skewed perspective, but we do, we totally seem to get ourselves into how in the hell did I get here situations all the time.
We do.
And all of us, for some reason, we find that very funny.
Yes. You can laugh or you can cry. And I think we've all, somehow we came out with a viewpoint of we're going to laugh, because it's why I started the podcast, because I always get myself into these fucking weird moments. And I'm always like, oh my God, wait till I tell this to somebody. Yeah. Then it's like you can totally live through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you're totally like, okay, yeah, we'll just wait till I tell this to somebody. And, anything could be weird happening, and it's going to be funny on the other side of it.
And you know what I think it kind of is? We're such weirdos, and maybe a lot of people are weirdos like this. I don't know, listeners, you tell us. But I think we kind of almost delight in getting ourselves into those predicaments.
Yeah, yes and no. I can't say that I was like delighted when that monkey had my head jammed up against that cage.
But you're delighted about telling people about it.
Oh, fuck yeah. That was probably lasted, God knows, it seemed like it lasted like 2 hours, but it could have been a 10-minute, maybe not even. But how many hours has it lasted now in the storytelling of it, that's the beauty of this, because we're telling stories, and I think that's...
It's like, you're not going to believe.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Jenny, you picture Jenny spitting in that vial and dropping to her knees every time. I mean, she wasn't probably delighting in it, but, she did pull it together later as a very funny story.
Yeah.
So.
And she couldn't wait to tell us about her torment.
Yes, she had it. She was like, I got one for you. I think that one of the best things that happened this year that I didn't see coming, and I've talked about this a little bit on the podcast before, but was the fact that all of us sisters, I mean, we're tight anyway, but I think we got closer because, first of all, I've heard like some crazy shit from you guys that I did not expect, and probably vice versa. And then the fact that we have a messenger group and we're also on the Voxer walkie-talkie app, and we're in a lot more communication than we ever were before. Wouldn't you say?
We definitely are, because now we're talking almost every day.
All
of us.
I don't think we skip a day, honestly.
Yeah.
Somebody's talking to someone.
Yeah. And plus, with all the stories we've been telling, it's like, oh my God, I never knew that happened to you. Or, or, oh my God, that happened to me too.
Right. I didn't know that Dad shot you too.
Yeah, exactly.
I was shocked to find that out. I'm like, what? Yeah.
So, yeah, and stuff like that. And it's like, or you get to hear a story that you haven't heard in 15, 20 years that was, funny then and is still funny now.
Right.
So, and yeah, there's just a lot of bizarre stuff that happens in our worlds.
Very, very. I mean, I'm trying to think like what some of the highlights from the past season were, that like the stuff that I didn't know. Like, I did not know that Jenny almost cut her leg off with a machete.
Yeah, I did know about that. Yeah, I did know about that one.
Oh my God!
But yeah, she almost cut her leg out. Aaron's X-Lax adventure.
I'd never heard it.
Yeah, I didn't.
I'd heard about it, but I'd never heard it told. So that was awesome.
Mm-hmm. And in that same episode, my adventures with getting groped by the TSA, which this, it's one of those things where it's like when it's happening, you're like, what the hell is going on here? But then you find out that a lot of people have been groped by the TSA, but I don't think anyone's had like someone as creepy groping them as me.
No, I mean, yeah, that was a weird story. Very weird. I didn't know about Aaron getting kissed by the homeless guy with the super white teeth.
Did not know that. Yeah, did not know that happened.
How can he be homeless? His teeth are so white.
New Orleans. Yeah. So it's like, okay, wait a minute. I put all these factors together in that story, and you just wind up going, what?
Yes.
What?
And I also want to say that I think we had some amazing guests over the past season. Come on. Yeah, I don't even.
Before, and I'll say it again, that the episode you did as a tribute to your dear departed friend Adrian.
Oh,
with her son,
that was such a great episode.
Josh is also a friend of mine, and her son. Oh my God, how can I not?
Chad.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That was such a good episode.
Yeah, and Faye, my friend Faye, was on there as well. Yeah, that was a great episode.
How in the hell did I get here, woman? Adrian. Yeah, name of the episode.
If you haven't listened, please listen. She was something else, and you'll hear me say that on that episode, because she was, oh my God, I laughed every day being around her, because she truly was. She was the epitome of how in the hell did I get here? Yeah.
And that turned out so well, and her sons did such a good job. And like I said, Josh is a friend of mine. Josh Weinstein is a comedian in L.A. that a lot of people might have heard of.
He's got a great podcast.
In Minneapolis.
Yep, he's got a great podcast called Thought Spiral. If you haven't listened to that, check it out. It's really fun. Him and his friend Andy Kindler, two comedians talking to each other, and it's pretty good.
Josh Weinstein, folks.
Yes, Josh Weinstein, and his brother Chad is also awesome. 16. Yes, he was a stand-up. I remember when he started with, Adrian was very concerned about that young man, but, he turned out okay. So good for him.
And that's another, like, how in the hell kind of story is you're working with Adrian and she's your best friend. I'm working with her son, who's just a teenager trying to break into the comedy business. And we didn't know that for a couple of years, did we?
Well, I think you were working with him before I went to work with Adrian at Bachman's.
Okay.
But then once I don't know how long I was working there before I figured out that her son was Josh Weinstein, who I already knew of because I'd seen him do stand-up many times, and he was damn funny. So it was just like a bonus,
Yeah.
So. But yes, and then we had Shanti Hendricks on talking about the frickin' Fear Factor thing. Oh my God. I mean,
And which, yes, the being on the show Fear Factor with Joe
right.
Rogan.
Yes, and on the actual show and how she gets on the show and how she survives that fucking show. Oh my God, my skin's crawling right now just thinking of what she went through.
There's two things about those two shows that are so cool to me. One, she did it. She does a great job of telling the stories about all the awful things she had to do. But it's like, okay, it's like, oh my God, now you know for sure if you had doubts. That show's for fucking real.
Yeah.
She made people
yeah.
She had to eat a spider.
She had to eat a fucking spider, be buried alive with fucking rats and bugs, some sort of bugs that could eat through your skin or something. Oh my God.
Like they really were making people do that.
Yeah.
There's
no shit.
Free,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I know.
And the other part of that show is that, like, okay, we might win for having one of the most unique guests ever. I mean, in a podcast in Shanti Hendricks.
Yes. Oh, yes, because she's also on in the Prince episode.
Yeah, because she hangs out with Prince. Prince wants to be her friend.
Prince wants to be her friend. And Shanti's like, not really. I'm not really into it, Prince. Sorry. Yeah. That was her basic attitude.
You are so rude.
Yes. Yes. Shanti has the balls to tell Prince, you're so rude, and stomps on his foot. And then gets invited to his fucking birthday party in Beverly Hills. I love her. I love Shanti.
Yeah,
big shout out to Shanti.
And instead of standing there being awed by being at Prince's house for his birthday, no, she plays it quite differently.
Yes.
Quite differently.
Yes, because she's not awed. She's bored.
Yeah. Yeah. But she's not, it's not like I'm too good to be here kind of bored.
No.
She's not awestruck, so she decides to find a way to amuse herself.
Exactly. She is a unique girl. I love Shanti, like I said. Yep. And then if who else do we have on? Tammy. Oh, Tammy. People, if you haven't listened to Tammy, check out her episodes, Bigfoot. Who shat that?
Yeah. Yeah, Tammy goes.
She's another unique being, and she tells a fucking hilarious story.
Sweet little person that is just adorable, and then she goes, "Oh, and by the way, I hunt Bigfoot in my spare time." Right. Yep. Oh yeah, and yeah, we've got a few stories from Tammy. We did have the one call-in listener. Was her name Melinda? The one who called in with what the fuck is DTF? Oh, yeah, trying to figure out
that was a cute story. Then we had the wedding episodes with Linz.
Yeah,
the DJ. Those were funny episodes.
And the best thing about those episodes is I don't think it's just the Midwest where weddings
go awry.
Well, that's how a wedding goes. That's wedding receptions.
Right. People are getting all sorts of crazy.
Yeah.
And Linz is a good storyteller. He told a good story.
Great storyteller and stories that everyone can relate to.
Right. Friends in drunk places.
Yep.
And then we had Janine. Janine with her breakdown from breakdown to breakthrough.
Which was brilliant.
Yeah.
And she put herself out there to tell that story.
She really did.
That was pretty amazing, and that's where it's like that. It was not only funny because Janine is funny, but it was raw and open and honest, and probably something a lot of people, it would help them to listen to.
Well, yeah, because I think that some people's greatest fear is seriously that happening to them, right? That they have such a bad day that they end up in the psych ward, and you don't know if you're coming out or not.
Yeah.
And
because we've all seen the movies. Once you're in, you're never getting out.
Right. And we all have bad days.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and whatever that movie with Halle Berry and
Yeah, no shit. You just don't know. If you have not listened to that 2-part story from breakdown to breakthrough, it's something else. And it actually is one of our top episodes right now. I just was looking at the stats before I got on here.
Cool.
Yeah, and that one aired back in November, so it's still in our top 10.
Yeah, and Janine has such a wry sense of humor that she's very funny too.
She really
telling
does.
The story, it actually is funny, but it's also so visual. Like you are there with her.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, she did a great job. And then is that who do we have any other guests? Well, Fred, the Uber driver.
Oh yeah. who will have to come back and tell you some more stories, because another good storyteller.
Yes, I have to get a hold of him and see. I told him at the end of our session, I'm like, just let me know if anything else weird happens. But like he said to me, I don't know if I put this on the podcast. He said, well, he said, let's say I drive 15 people a day. I can count on 2 of these kind of things happening a day.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I know because I know a lot of cab drivers because I didn't drive for so long that I got to be friends with so many of them. Yeah, this kind of stuff goes on. It's like, oh my God, you people are so brave to be out there. And plus, we got to learn. I'd never heard the urban slang before of what playing for the Yankees.
I love that.
meant.
I didn't even realize what he said until I was listening to the podcast.
Oh, the Yankees.
Right. Very funny. Very, very funny.
So listen to that podcast, people.
That was just a couple weeks ago.
What it means when someone says he got caught playing for the Yankees.
Exactly. Oh, and we had our cousin Heather on telling some stories, and she was awesome.
Oh my God, was
so
she?
We had quite a few guests, actually.
Heather and Aaron.
The Bubbles.
Bubbles.
Oh God.
Yeah, the avalanche of bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what again? It's like, wait a minute, what?
Right, I know, that's another crazy story. And Van, we also had Aaron's husband Van share some of his crazy flying stories.
Yeah,
and a story about peeing in the yard. If I recall,
that was in What a Trip.
Yeah,
miss the party, well poop, and then miss the party, what a trip. 2 episodes that came together in September.
Yes, he tells that story about getting on that flight and all the weird shit starts happening before they even leave the ground. Yeah.
And that reminds me, I hope that's all our special guests we had because I'm moving on.
Yes, well, I think, I was just really trying to figure out. I'm like, okay, yes, what else?
Going on, because then in October we did paranormal stories all month.
Right.
And that was some of the most fun, except for Ghosts in the Machine. Stuff every episode something would go wrong.
I was just going to say for me, that was a super challenging month because it was 5 Thursdays and every single episode we had some sort of a technical weird thing happen. Like on Ghosts in the Machine with
things.
Yeah, no shit. On Ghosts in the Machine, I'm getting goosebumps just telling you this. Aaron's Roku was doing all weird shit was going on, and then we had several weird things with recording.
Yeah, and was it that episode where literally you're trying to record and tell the stories, and stuff starts happening?
Yes,
with things turning on and off.
She dropped completely out. Like, she's like, I've got to check on this or something. She was like, Van, is that you? And then all of a sudden, boom, the thing goes dead or something. And I'm like, oh my God.
You're calling her on the phone because you don't know what happened to her.
Yes, I got her back on the phone and I'm like, okay, let's keep going. But that was the second time we had tried to record.
Something was actually there with her messing with what you guys were doing. Like, it didn't want it to happen.
Yes, and you know what? There definitely was. I went to visit her in that fall. And this was after we had recorded, but she kept saying something. There's something in the house. It's gone now. We cleared it after I went to visit. Yeah, we talked about that just the other day. So, but yeah, there was definitely weird shit going on because she had told me the whole story the week before, but it had literally gone blank in the tape. It had just literally blanked out.
Oh, that's right. You recorded and then it was just gone.
It was just gone. And so then she was trying to tell me and it had been
there and then it was gone.
Right. And then the next week she was trying to tell me the story again, and then all sorts of other weird shit started happening. And then I think so you and Jenny and I recorded something and it wasn't even legible. Like, I couldn't even use it. Yeah. I mean, there was just all sorts of weird shit went on with those paranormal recordings. And then as soon
as we got out of October and stopped doing all
clear
the
sailing
stuff, we're back to good. I mean, that's still, you still just go, that's not how in the hell, that's what the hell.
Yeah, I know. I did not expect that. So we'll see. I mean, we're probably going to, we have more paranormal stories in the can, and, either we'll hold those till October of next year or we'll, play some out during this year.
Oh, you got to play some out because those are too fun. And and we have so much of that stuff that surrounds all of us.
A lot of it. But I mean, it'll just be interesting to see what happens if that continues, or let's just see it like that's over with now, because that's part of it. That was part of a kind of a challenging thing for me.
Yeah, because that was just so bizarre. But yeah, we'll have to see if the next time we decide to record about paranormal events in our lives, see if we're allowed to,
Yeah,
or if something
exactly.
interferes again.
Yeah, I know. I know. Very, very weird. So, yeah, so I think that's like a good review of what we did, but I want to talk a little bit behind the scenes of like how this all happens, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
So for those of you that don't know, I'm recording with 4 out of 5 sisters, and usually we hop together on a Zoom call, and we try to be on not any longer than an hour, but we a lot of times are. The best ones are when we all get on together, like when we talked the flood story. Can't remember the name of that episode, but what one was that called, Kari? Do you remember?
The flood story was
Oh, the toe in the dike, the toe in the beaver.
Oh yeah, I've never had my toe in a beaver.
I never had my toe in a beaver or a dike.
Damn it.
So yeah, damn it.
So.
Yeah. Because we had 4 out of 5 sisters on there and it was really funny. But anyway, so then I have to take that recording and pull everything out of it that, we don't want in there. And it's a big editing process because just of the way our podcast is put together. And
because we won't shut up sometimes when you need us to shut up.
But that's not how our podcast is formatted. So we have the stories and everything. So a lot, I can be dealing with up to 30 tracks of actual pieces of audio that I'm trying to get it to all lay together into the podcast.
And you don't just record this on a computer or on a phone. You have the proper equipment to do a proper broadcast.
Well, I'm recording it onto a computer, but yes, I am sitting in a little sound booth with the actual,
and you have the stuff with all the lines going across it showing you.
Oh yeah, the editing. Right. I'm don't editing it by hand.
You don't just record stuff and go, bam, I have a podcast. No, you take the time and the effort to.
Right. Yes, exactly. No, it's I reserve
something that people want to hear and something that's done professionally.
Right. Yeah, I reserve Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for the podcast, working on podcast production, pretty much. I mean, I have other things I have to take care of, obviously, but that is my primary goal, is to get the show put together. And, depending, some weeks, it's like we nail it right out of the gate. I mean, other weeks we've had times where I've had to revise, 7, 8, 9 times. I think that's obviously become less over the year as I've gotten better with the editing and it's gotten easier for me. But still, there's often times where we're doing revisions and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm going to speak now for your entire audience because I think they will agree with me. Everybody out there agree with me?
Yes. Hello.
It's you have improved so much on the work you do on it, and it was good to begin with. But yeah, you've really, because you every week you put together your last cut, and then you have the rest of us listen to it, and we come back and tell you, you got a problem here, you got a problem there, you got a problem, if there's a problem.
Right.
And that's getting fewer. There's fewer and fewer problems that we hear because, you've had a year to really become like a professional level.
Yes. I mean, it was daunting when we. Yay! I know it was very. It was daunting when I started off. No kidding. I mean, it was like I was like, oh my god! But yeah, it's become easier and easier, and I'm grateful for that because there's a lot of other stuff that goes around putting it out, just getting memes made and those little 1-minute video things I do and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, the
yes, and you make memes, and then you have to give me the memes, and promotion and all that stuff. So
social media, talking to people in the PR business and all that.
Right, getting it onto our website, getting it out, getting it scheduled, and out to all the apps, all the ways for people to listen,
and writing the intros and the ads, and
intros, ads, and I record all that stuff every week. So it's a thing. And I mean, I'm grateful because this podcast has really given my life a very steady rhythm, I would say. I mean, I have to show up every week for this podcast. Yeah. There's no doubt about it. And it just,
and you know what? This is another thing that is super impressive and super, super awesome. Yay, we're damn good. But mainly you. I listen to a lot of podcasts now. It's really become a thing for me. I've gotten kind of hooked on podcasts because when you're listening to podcasts, you can do other stuff.
Right, exactly.
Still get some laughs or some information or some entertainment, and I think you're the only podcast that I've been listening to for the last year who's been out every damn week. Has never missed. Yes.
Wow.
People do it all the time because they take kind of a lackadaisical, oh, it's a podcast. I can put it out whenever I want.
Yeah, and if people think that people aren't listening, it's hard to keep going if you think, if you get that idea in your head, it's like, well, and I don't know how many people are listening to this one, but people are listening, so we're showing up.
I know, and it's amazing. And thank you, everybody, because it is amazing that people are joining us and listening to us and enjoying it and laughing and giving us 5-star reviews, which we'll take plenty more of those. If you're a listener and you really enjoy this show, that's how you show it. It's really, there's only a couple things we ask, and they're little teeny tiny things. Go to Apple iTunes, to the podcast page, which you can find in the show notes every week, or on our website, howinthehell.podcast.com. Thank you. And that'll direct you there. If you can give us 5 stars, and all you have to do is say, love it, just, you don't have to, we don't need a lengthy review. It's those 5 stars. It's how many 5 stars you have. That's what moves us up the charts. That's how we get to more and more people. That's how we increase our audience, and make it worthwhile to do this. I mean, it's worthwhile because we have fun, because we're sisters.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
And as Kim mentioned before, we are fucking funny.
At least in our own opinion.
But for the rest of the world, it all depends on how many stars you have on Apple. That's how podcasting platforms decide how important you are.
Yep.
So please help us out, folks.
Yes, give us those reviews. Please, can we have another review?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, just hit the 5 stars and just write donkey. That's, then.
Yes, we'll know that you were there.
Yeah, you're all good. So that would be enormous.
Yes. Let's see some donkeys. 5 stars with a donkey. Let's see it, people. That's hilarious. What was I thinking of? Oh, okay. So, speaking of support, one of the things that I think happened this year, and it was hard for me, is the whole trying to figure out how you people can best give us some cash. So we started off with Patreon, and then because we had the word hell in our name, they put us under explicit, and no one could find us for the first 6 months. And I didn't realize that. Yeah. Somehow that got set up wrong. It could have been me, could have been them, but there was a whole weird thing going on at that point. When I remember when I signed up, they were going to that, they were kind of doing that, protecting those explicit sites, which we obviously are freaking not. We swear a lot, but so Patreon, and it just, Patreon made it very difficult for us. So then I moved over to, it's pronounced coffee, but it's spelled in the stupidest way, ko-fi.com. And that's been, their system is awesome, but it is so hard for you people to understand and for me to explain for you where you need to go.
And that's what I found was, one day it dawned on me. It's this doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't even make sense to me. I'm surprised we have anybody.
To go to something that's ko.fi/.com and buy us a cup of coffee or buy us some cookies. And it's what the hell are you talking about?
Exactly. It makes no sense.
We don't really need cookies. I guarantee you, I do not need any cookies. That's the last thing I need.
Because I get the munchies. But anyway, I have
but
plenty
unless
cookies
they're
in the house.
Fat-free cookies, and then it's not really a cookie.
No, that's a cracker.
Yes, exactly. But it doesn't make sense. And so I think we were just confusing
everybody.
Our listeners who probably do want to support us, but we're making it so hard to do.
Right. So forget about Patreon. Forget about freaking ko-fi.com. Forget about it. Forget about it. I'm doing magic hands now. I'm forget about it. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Forget about it. We are going to go with buymeacoffee.com. And the page you want to look for over there is the Coloring Book Coach, because, ta-da! If you didn't get that already, people, I am the Coloring Book Coach. And and this is my podcast.
And have been for a long time.
And have been for a long time. And this is my first podcast. But I also have 2 other podcasts. I have the what are my podcasts? I have How to Fall in Love with Yourself Toolkit that comes out once a month on the first of the month. And that is just purely me intuiting what the month ahead is going to be like. And I give you themes for that and some tools to get you through your month. So you can check that one out. And then I have the new one that's coming out, and I am so freaking excited about this one. Tell Me Your Secret. And this is a podcast and a service. And the service is that you can call and anonymously tell me your secret, and I will listen. And I'm figuring out how to set all that up. And the podcast is listening to those secrets. So you can look for that. The teaser is up right now at tellmeyoursecret.club. And that'll be coming out in a couple months. So watch for that. But the teaser should be out soon on all able. You might even be able to listen to it right now if you're listening to this.
Awesome. And to repeat what you just said, it is at tellmeyoursecret.club, not .com,
right?
.club, C-L-U-B.
Like join the club of people who are willing to share their secrets anonymously. There'll be no way for anyone to know who these secrets are coming from.
Right, and that's the point is for people to call and talk to you, get something off their chest that they feel they need to get off their chest.
Right.
Anonymously,
yeah. The whole reason I thought about it, it came to me in the middle of the night that what holds people back sometimes are their secrets. And I am one of those people that people tell me their secrets. I have had so many people tell me their secrets. So
you got a doozy of one the other day, which we won't go into.
See, and I don't even remember it now because that's the other thing. I blank out on them. I've had people confess things to me in airports, on airplanes, in a mall bathroom. I mean, it happens. I'm one of those people.
Yes, you are. I think it's everybody in our family. Yeah, if I say the words anal winking, will that?
I know what you're talking about. I just had the vision. I'm like, oh God, yeah. No, but so anyway, so I was like just thinking about this. So the service I want to offer is I will get on the phone with you and we will record, and it'll be your choice whether or not you put it on the podcast or not, but I will happily listen to your secret and give feedback if required or if you want it or not. But you can deposit it with me because it's a safe place to share it, the secret.
So they're talking to you. They're telling you the secret.
Yes, tell me your secret.
It's not just call up and record it.
No.
And then we put together
and it's going to be real and raw. Laughter. And I'm going to have time limits on how long you get to have. And if you're talking in the middle of that, if you're right in the middle of something, it is going to stop right there because it is a paid service. So you're paying per your time. But also I just want it to be very real, very raw. And then I'll just take out any identifiers for, that'll be the editing. We'll just be taking out the identifiers.
And we've already talked about how seriously you take editing so people can trust you on that. And then the idea is that it'll be put out there as a podcast, and then you and they will get feedback.
Yeah.
Comments
and what I kind of hope would happen is I think that people will hear secrets and they'll be like, wow, that's not even a big deal to me. And then, but other people will hear secrets and go, oh my God, I can't believe they shared that secret. I think there could be this could be a really good way for people to just find out more about your common man, that we all have shit going on and, stuff we don't want other people to know, but we're all human. And so this is a way to make a connection.
Right.
Just by hearing
it's not
what's
meant
going
to be
on.
Salacious. It's not meant for people to. It's meant for people to get something off their chest.
Right. Or
talk to you about it.
Sometimes secrets are regrets even. I mean, it could be anything. It could be like, my secret is I didn't, take that chance that I wanted to take, that I missed my chance or whatever it is. It's something that you're carrying around inside of you that you feel is kind of holding you back. And that if you can just share
put it out there anonymously so other people can come back and say.
Yeah. Who knows what they'll say. And
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know what kind of feedback.
You get feedback, and so it helps you deal with what what might be suppressing you.
I'm really excited to do it. So we'll see what happens with that. So just go to tellmeyoursecret.club, sign up. There's the option on the form if you are interested in telling me your secret. The first 10 people that sign up will get their secrets told for free to me. then there's always going to be an option. You can just tell your secret. It doesn't have to go on the podcast. So, yeah, I mean, it can just be a completely
so
anonymous.
Someone can just get someone
tell the secret.
Someone to talk to and say,
Yep.
Here's my secret. And yeah, okay, that's very interesting.
But I will be cutting it's like at 20 minutes or whatever the time limit is. It's like it's done. So,
Right, it's not a therapy session.
Nope, it's not a therapy session, and it's just, you're just, I'm going to listen to your secret.
Let's get this off your chest.
And see what happens by doing that.
Put it out there. Yeah, see how you feel by just putting it out, anonymously putting it out there, anonymously telling someone, and then, what kind of feedback and support you can get for doing so.
Yeah, and how you might just feel in your own self, because what I've noticed with the people that have told me their secrets, I've saw most of them, I was with everybody, they were in front of me, they were visibly relieved, even though I was a complete stranger. I mean, I had a man, we were sitting in the waiting area, waiting to get on a plane. It was early in the morning. He started talking to me, telling me this story, and it was like a heavy thing. And he was in first class, and I was in like the back of the plane, like 36, like way in the back. He freaking walked me to my seat because he wanted to finish telling me his secret.
Been there, done that. Yeah.
Yep, gave me a hug and continued up to first. I never saw the guy again, but I'm like, okay. And again, like I say, these don't wear me down. They just kind of go, I'm a space for, I will hold it for you, but I'm not going to carry it. But I'm also like taking it and letting it out.
Okay. Yeah. First of all, 2 things. Tell me your secret. If anyone, if you're worried about telling your secret, you can, just remember that if you listen to our episode about haunted basement, giant flies, body in the freezer, I let out a big secret that I think there is a body in the freezer of the place that I worked at.
Yes.
So, I did that. Also, just FYI, that will be available on all podcast platforms, just like all of the Coloring Book Coaches podcasts, including How the Hell Did I Get Here?
Yes, they're all going to be everywhere.
Yep.
Okay. So. All right. So, well, I guess we're off to season 2. I mean...
Yeah, holy buckets.
Holy buckets.
And you know what the funny thing is that sometimes it's like we go, okay, we need to get together and record some stories. And it's like, oh my God, I don't have any other stories. I don't know. And then we get together and it's like, well, wait a minute. Then this time.
I know. Someone asked me, they're like, aren't you worried about running out of stories? I'm like, no, not really.
Yeah. Plus, things just keep on happening.
Exactly. Weird shit just keeps going down, so I'm not really that worried about it.
And just FYI, little teaser, perhaps we'll call it. I'm assuming that Jenny will agree to tell us a story of one of the things that her son recently did. That
yes, surprise in the basement. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Well, she probably can tell it because I don't think her kids listen to this, and they probably won't listen until.
And I don't think they can.
I don't think they care.
But I wish I could figure out a way to do a good teaser on it. Her teenage son is a genius.
Yeah, like a mad scientist level.
He's a mad scientist. That's what he is. But not really.
Mad scientist redneck.
Yeah, he's a redneck mad scientist.
Exactly.
So there's your teaser. Yeah.
Yes. Well, we don't know if she's going to tell the story, but there's a teaser. If she will or she won't. We'll find out.
Yep.
And you will too. All right. Yep. Let's wrap it up. This is How in the Hell Did I Get Here? And welcome to season 2. Oh, Kari is not done.
Because Kari's just going to say again, here's just a little reminder. If you love our podcast, if you're listening to our podcast, remember, it's buymeacupofcoffee.com.
No, it's buymeacoffee.com.
Oh, man. Sorry. Fuck that all up. All right. Buymeacoffee.com.
Buymeacoffee.com. I'm going there right after this and make sure I have that damn thing set up right. And look for the Coloring Book Coach. That's how you do it. And go give us a review. Put donkey in there so we know you were listening. All right, everybody.
And thank you, everybody, for a wonderful first year.
Yes, and we'll see you next week on How in the Hell Did I Get Here.
Bye.
Bye. We'll be back next week with our regularly formatted show, and we look forward to seeing you there. A couple of reminders. Visit tellmeyoursecret.club to find out more about my new podcast of the same name, which is coming soon. It's tellmeyoursecret.club, as in club sandwich, but it's tellmeyoursecret.club. And you can now easily buy us a cup of coffee at buymeacoffee.com. Look for The Coloring Book Coach. So you can go to buymeacoffee.com and look for The Coloring Book Coach. Thank you so much. Speaking of The Coloring Book Coach, grab a free coloring book at thecoloringbookcoach.com. And our music is by Silent Partner, and we found them on YouTube's Creator Library. You can find the link to them on our show notes. The theme song is 7th Floor Tango, and our ad music is Blue Skies. This week's show was written, produced, and hosted by myself, Kim A. Floden, with editing and guest help from Kari Floden.